Hey, this is your host Anthony Dinar and your co-host Brandon Hayes.
Hello.
And today we're looking at some pre-recorded footage that I played on Doom for the Nintendo 64. This is going to be released on May 13th, 2016, the same day that the brand new Doom comes out, and we're excited, so we're paying homage to a cult classic, right?
All right. We're playing this, we're showing this video, and then we're going to be playing Doom this weekend and recording while we play, and hastily put together a video of that, and hopefully have it up by the end of the weekend, but of course, no promises. This is, like you said, the Nintendo 64 Doom, and holy shit, is it dark.
Yeah.
It's practically unplayable.
This is Doom if you were playing Helen Keller. Not joking.
We recorded this with the Elgato capture device. That gives you an option to crank up the brightness while you're playing the game. So we used that. Then we cranked up the brightness as you saw in the options of the game itself. And then, in addition to that, doing this footage right now, like when I was editing this together, I cranked up the brightness in the video editor.
Don't forget, we also, while playing the game, cranked up the brightness on my monitor on the computer. So it was like everything was as bright as possibly could be.
But that monitor brightness doesn't translate to this video. Everything else does.
That's true. That's true.
So you're seeing this as bright as this game gets. This is a total fucking joke, in my opinion.
I don't remember it being this dark, though, playing it on, like, an old shitty TV. Like, is it just because, like, technology's better now?
No, I think that what happened is you were happy to just have Doom on the Nintendo 64, so you just found a way to tolerate it. But and this is like one of the brighter levels. There are some that just I couldn't even save the footage. There's a huge portion of this where I just cut it entirely because you would just be looking at black.
Yeah, no, it's fucking bad. It's really bad.
It's inexcusably dark. And I think maybe they did that because they were trying to
make it creepy.
No, I think it was so dark. It's like we got to make it really dark so that the Nintendo 64 can handle this.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go for like a gore factor or like to try to hide shit or what? You know, that makes sense. Physical limitations. But wait a minute. This isn't like a straight up port from MS-DOS. This is like a revamped version, right? Like,
I guess, yeah, I think so. I've played Doom, I'm familiar with it, used to love the game. I don't memorize the maps like some people, so, like, I couldn't tell you. There's some people who know exactly where every secret is and all this stuff by this time.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
I don't know.
As you can clearly see, I'm playing this and I'm doing poorly.
I was just gonna say, I left some of this footage in, probably too much, of you wandering around trying to figure shit out.
In this tiny little room. Yeah, no, I'm fucking terrible. I mean, we're called Low Score for a reason. You know, and
we produce shit.
Torturevision.com is the name of our website, and it fits. Speaking of torture, Jesus fucking Christ, you haven't mentioned this yet. We watched the motherfucking movie that was released in 2005 with The Rock
and Carl Urban. Yeah, I knew because when I got done with this video, it was so long, and I'll tell you right now, it's like 45 to 48 minutes long of footage. I don't know if we're gonna have enough commentary. I might just cut this short. But I knew we had so much footage that like we wouldn't have much to talk about here, so I figured like let's also watch the movie and then just kind of do like an impromptu movie review while we watch this footage.
Which is something that we used to do all the time on our website. So like, if you like just like the podcast version, if you will, of like movie reviews, you can find that on torturevision.com as well. But like, we had like, you know, like growing pains, if you will, because YouTube's fucking copyright bullshit, and we were totally in the right, but whatever. We
used to have video versions of our podcast on YouTube, and
big mistake.
We got flagged a couple times for copyright, ended up taking down. Bit long, boring story. Who cares?
Yeah. So like it's kind of like a weird hybrid where we're talking about the movie too. So I actually like this a lot. I think this is pretty cool.
Oh, do you? Because during the whole time you were watching this movie, you were bitching and complaining that you hated this and we should never do this again.
Yeah, that movie sucks. It's a tough movie to watch. But before we get into that, I want to ask you, what is your take on the video game? Like what are you fighting right now? Like, what is that?
Oh, it's a demon.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like,
I wouldn't know exactly every intricate little detail of this game, like story-wise, but it's my assumption that like you're on Mars. This is a military facility or maybe a research facility, something like that. All hell broke loose, literally, and then you're just a guy in here to like clean up the mess. Or maybe you're just trying to escape. I don't know. But either way, you're fighting demons.
right.
It's undeniable. You're fighting demons.
There's
in this
some
game.
really cool levels where, I mean, look at that logo right there in the background.
I can barely see it. It's a pentagram with a demon face.
But like you would see not only like pentagrams, but like upside down crosses and like all kinds of weird shit, right, in this game. So like I think this is hell. Like you're not fighting anything but like the different layers of hell.
Well, and there's a bunch of like these soldiers here were living people who then died. So
yeah, they were Nazis probably.
No, they weren't. They
I'm
were
just
people
joking.
in the future. It has nothing to do with Wolfenstein.
All I mean is like Nazis were in hell, are going to hell. Look at that fucking room. It's pitch black in there.
Yeah, I mean, already, I'm wondering how many people even sit through this footage. And, like, maybe some people are better. I guarantee some people are better at video editing than I am. So, like, maybe some people could actually do something more with this. Like, this is the best of my knowledge how to say this footage. And it's like, this is crap.
Yeah, well...
And especially when you go into a room like this, like, that's just designed to be pitch black. And the only way you're supposed to get around is, like, following the little dots on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, like they did that on purpose.
There's like a fine line between scary and annoying.
Yeah.
And this goes like 2 miles beyond that line.
Yeah, I agree. So like it's safe to say that you're not fighting aliens. And that's kind of where the movie took this.
No, the movie was like it was human beings that were genetically modified.
Yes,
turn into monsters.
But like, so they said it's 2026, and they discovered an ark is what they called it, a device made by aliens. So, like, that's where I'm getting the alien thing. So, like, the modification and stuff, you could argue, like, is an alien thing. And like they did talk about how like it was an extra chromosome. And like that was like what was causing you to become like this demon thing, or I guess a Superman. I don't understand.
I don't think the people who wrote the movie understood what was going on. They're like, okay, so we got this game where again you're on a research facility. Hell escapes something, like maybe you dig too deep into the Martian surface and break open a portal to hell. Who knows what happened?
Yeah.
Anyway, demons start escaping, and that's the story. So, like, in the movie, they're thinking, for whatever reason, maybe we can't do that? Because, like, I know the MPAA has, like, this huge, like, problem.
I didn't even think of that.
They have this huge problem with references to hell and demonic crap.
Really?
So, like, maybe that's why they're like, okay, well, we still want to make this movie, but we got to kind of distance ourselves from that story.
Fuck, I didn't even think of that at all. And the MPAA is a fucking joke. There's a great movie, documentary called This Film's Not Yet Rated. If you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. Even though it's like a little old, it's not really outdated, in my opinion.
Oh, look, I got light amplification goggles here, so...
How do you turn them on?
No, you did. You saw a little brightness there.
I know, is that bullshit?
So we got that working for us too. Also, throughout this video, I do occasionally, like, I just broke. And I was like, fuck it. I don't care how shitty this looks. I'm going to crank up the brightness even more. Even more. Even more. Try to make this better. I just couldn't. I can't tell you enough how just disappointed I am in this N64 port. Like, some people might love it. I think it's just pure shit.
Yeah. No, if you're gonna play something, like, try something else.
Like,
I don't
anything
know.
better. And it's kind of funny because we have this on the 32X. We have this
on the 3DO. We have it too. Yeah.
We have it on like the Sega CD or something. I don't know. We have a couple different versions, and this is the one we picked because we're stupid.
Well, I have this, I don't know, idea. I don't know if it's true or not, that the Nintendo 64 version is slightly different than all the other ones. And that may be because it's, dumb fuck Nintendo, and it's different in all the worst ways, and I just don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But anyway, back to the movie. I think that the people who were writing the script were like, okay, so instead of like opening up a doorway to hell, like, let's keep the research center part of it, but instead of opening that portal, like, it has to do with aliens. So that's like the reason why they're there. It's like that alien thing. And then in addition to that, like, some weirdo mad scientist is working on genetic experiments in there too.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Space Mengele. And
now who's bringing up Nazis?
So like his experimentation was to give people human beings have 23 chromosomes.
I think
normally.
It's 21 or so. I don't know. I'm really bad at science.
What are you good at?
Not video games and not science.
But this thing that this mad scientist was injecting into people was like a 24th chromosome.
An extra one, which, like, I had to look it up, and I was right, because I was just guessing. Again, I'm bad at science and biology and all that other shit. And I'm like, is he making everyone with Downs? Like, Down syndrome? Like, that's an extra chromosome, isn't it? And sure enough, it was. He's giving everyone a case of the Downs.
But it's like evil Downs.
Yeah.
Where they turn into, like, violent monsters.
And, like, you know what, in the movie, I know you can't see the demons in this game, but everything you saw in the movie, none of them looked like anything in the game except for actually Pinky. That stupid, like half robot, pig thing, whatever that is. I guess, like, that has, like, a tie to the game. But other than that, I mean, no one else really looked like any of these characters.
I don't know, there was something that vaguely looked like what was just shot right now, if you can see that.
But they never shot anything like fireballs or anything like that.
No, there was there was the BFG too.
And the big fucking gun.
And the main character, or what we were led to believe would be the main character, The Rock, his name was Sarge, which is supposed to be your main character in Doom.
Yeah, that was a weird choice.
Other than that, like, they just kind of made shit up.
So there's two things I want to mention that I noticed here online. Is like that gun, that BFG gun. It's not a circular gun because it's, like, harder on the computer to be able to make that. So what they ended up doing was, like, they made it into that cross X thing, and like, that's, like, where I guess that idea came from. Another thing that I thought was interesting was The Rock. He was initially meant to be the good guy. What was his name? The guy who basically, like,
saved the day.
Yeah, saved the day. And The Rock said no. He's like, I want to be the bad guy because I think, like, that role would be more interesting.
Well, see, I don't follow wrestling whatsoever, but, like, was The Rock the good guy, quote unquote?
Yeah, he was a good guy wrestler. Okay. Yeah, which, like, I'm not a big wrestler fan either, but, like, when I was dumb and young, like, I watched a lot. Like, my favorite wrestler was Sting, and that was pretty much all I cared about. Like, by the time The Rock came in, like, I was long out of wrestling.
Oh. Well, maybe that's what you want to do, though. It's like, hey, this is, like, one of my first movies. Maybe I kind of want to distance myself from The Rock character, so, like, let me play a bad guy.
Yeah, maybe. But I thought it was weird that, you know, he made that choice. So like maybe that's why it felt weird. Like, you know, you're supposed to be rooting for the character. And okay, so this is my problem with the movie is like
one of many.
it's nothing like the game, and this is a perfect example of that. The guy you're playing right now, or I'm playing right now in Doom, is the bad guy in the movie. That's fucking dumb.
Well, he starts out good, but then he gets infected with this virus.
No, he was bad before he was infected, because he's like, we're gonna kill all the innocent, you know? And fuck that.
Okay, yeah, take that back. Yeah, on a stupid technicality that I guess is important to talk about. This 24th chromosome will turn, if you get infected with it, it will turn you into a monster if you're a bad guy. If you're just like an asshole. Like, if we got infected with it, we would turn into monsters. But if you're nice and kind and pure of heart and blah, 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 then, like, it turns you into an awesome Superman.
Yeah, who would be our, like, arch nemesis in this world? It would be, like the basement or something.
They're super nice and we're just pure awfulness. Yeah, I guess. But anyway, so... yeah, The Rock is technically a bad guy before he gets infected, but
Yeah.
like for all intents and purposes, he was a good guy. He was going there on a mission. He was following orders.
Yeah. Like he did start out as a likable character, everything. Yeah, no, I agree. But something else that I thought was interesting was it started out saying that in 2026, which isn't too far away, by the way, that we discover this alien technology on Mars. And then fast forward 20 years later, and that's where the movie really starts.
Oh, I kept this part of the video because I'm like, will you fucking pick a goddamn weapon, you moron?
I was really trying to figure out how to make it brighter. Like, did I not turn on my goggles? Because I could see that this room was going to be dark. But 20 years later, we still know nothing about this alien technology. Like, that's right away. Like, within the first few seconds of starting the movie, I'm already pissed off.
Well, it's alien technology. Like, maybe it's super complex. Maybe it takes a while. I'm wondering why they're using the facility to do anything other than study alien technology.
Yeah, really, right? Yeah, it basically...
There's all sorts of crap going on in there, and it's not just like, we got that chromosome 24 crap that we're injecting into hardened criminals to test them like guinea pigs. But there's also, like, we're building BFGs. They're awesome weapons that are, like, capable of total destruction. And, like, we built a prototype, I guess, and then we put it on this awesome pedestal somewhere.
Yeah.
What was that?
He was so proud of that gun when he made it, or whoever it was. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's stupid. The movie was supposed to be Doom, and I felt like we kind of watched Resident Evil.
That's exactly what it felt like.
I mean, there were zombies.
Same exact plot. Like, you go,
Yeah.
They went into the Umbrella Corporation and to retrieve some information, maybe save some people, and then they were supposed to get the hell out. That's basically what the plot of the Doom movie is.
Yeah. It's exactly like that. You had zombies eating human flesh in Doom.
And that's another thing. Like, okay, so they talk about how this place was full of scientists, and the scientists got turned into to zombies because apparently this entire facility was just mad scientists. There wasn't a single person who got infected and became a superhuman. They were all evil.
Yeah, you're right. Except for John or whatever his name was.
Yeah, like Carl Urban.
Yeah.
He was the only good guy out of the bunch. But anyway, there's these people who are just becoming zombies, and they look like monsters. They're growling like monsters, and they're eating human flesh. They also have the knowledge to be able to wield weapons and even hack computers. Because, as one person put, like, they were like rocket scientists or something.
Yeah.
So they're brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, they even, like...
You can't have both.
They not only had weapons, they, like, that one guy had a chainsaw that could cut through, like, 12-inch thick steel.
Oh, yeah, the big master bad guy.
It's fucking dumb. Yeah, so, like, there was lots of references to a game or the game. And...
Oh, that was so stupid. Every once in a while, like, The Rock would be like, okay, man, get ready. This isn't a game.
Yeah.
Put on your game face. It's time to go. Like, enough. We get it. It's a game.
Yeah.
You know what? You should have played the game.
Yeah.
And then made a movie like it.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, although that's corny as fuck, it got worse when, like, an hour and a half into the film, it was, like, first-person shooter style. It's like the movie turned into, like, what you would see in the game.
Yeah.
That was really lame.
That, let's say 10 minutes of first-person shooter vision, like, that's what sold the movie. Like, they're like, we're gonna do this and it's gonna be awesome. And then, like, they quickly just, like, slapped a bunch of shit together around that.
Yeah, probably.
That's, like, the only thing they put any thought into, and it's hokey.
According to IMDb, that first-person scene, like you said, is only 10 minutes long, if that. That sequence took 14 days to shoot. Like, what a fucking mess.
And the movie was made in 15 days.
And then, like, remember when we did that review on Jurassic Park? I think it was The Lost World. That's the second one.
Right.
And they made that shitty gun that was supposed to be a badass gun that they shot the T-Rex with. Well, that BFG gun that's in Doom, they made 2 of them. And The Rock has both of them as, like, souvenirs or trophies at his house.
That story makes sense for Doom, because that gun did look cool, and it's completely unlike anything that actually exists in real life.
Yeah.
The gun from Jurassic Park, The Lost World,
looked like a normal
gun. Everyone's talking about how badass it is, and then, like, Spielberg had it specially crafted to, like, and he loved the prop so much that he kept it, or whatever the story was.
Yeah.
And it looks no different than your average fucking gun.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like a bigger caliber, but it looks like a normal fucking gun.
The only people who would notice are, like, die-hard, like, gun freaks who collect that shit, and they know the ins and outs of, like, every gun ever known to man.
Yeah, and you would have to see it in person too. Like, you couldn't just, like, see it on screen and know, like, that's impressive. But there's also this bit of trivia on IMDb that I guess, like, The Rock, he did say that like, because it did so badly, that he joked about being in the movie. And by the way, that's one of my favorite bad guys that died.
The thing that isn't in the movie.
Yeah. That bad guy alone scared the crap out of me. I remember having nightmares about just that bad guy. That's how, like, scary this game was for me. But I fucking loved it. Like,
well, it's a good thing the movie didn't ruin its image. You would have been really disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, The Rock was at like a wrestling thing or whatever, like Wrestlers Hall of Fame, and he was, like, introducing, I think his dad is a wrestler or something, and he, like, made a joke, like, that he's embarrassed about being in this movie. I would be too. I'd be embarrassed that I made this game so fucking dark too.
Yeah, again, I did everything I could to save this. And just watching it, looking back on it, I'm like, I don't even remember it being this dark. I'm like, I thought I did a better job. At a certain point, I just said, fuck it, and I cranked up the brightness so much and the contrast that, like, things look like shit, but you can clearly see what they are. But even that didn't save every scene. Anyway.
But it's a solid game. I would definitely recommend it. But I would play a different port. It's I don't know, it's something that like we got this to be at least sort of play, like I could actually play the game, whereas like without all of our equipment you wouldn't even be able to see anything that you're seeing now.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to get far at all.
Yeah. Something else that I thought was interesting for the movie is they had this whole nuclear explosion sequence on the Mars facility that they filmed. It got past storyboarding and everything, and in the final cut of the movie, like they axed it.
Why? It wasn't good enough?
I don't know.
Or they're like, holy shit, this is actually good. Let's save this for a decent movie.
Yeah. Something else that I thought was interesting was Arnold Schwarzenegger was originally supposed to play the Rock character. The role that the Rock played in.
You know what's funny though about that? I mean, I don't doubt that or anything, but like every time you read IMDb trivia, it'll always say other people who were considered for the role were, and then they'll just name like
Everyone.
famous Hollywood person that typically takes like an action movie role.
Yeah.
So it's like, like The Rock or Schwarzenegger or Jason Statham. Like they'll just go down the list.
Yeah. Well, this has a little bit more history behind it because, I guess it was supposed to come out earlier than 2005. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he was approached to it, he seemed like positive about it. But
who the fuck cares about his opinion? He was Mr. Freeze and the shittiest
right?
Batman ever.
Right. But he signed up for it, and then like I tried to find like a news article on this, but I couldn't. But there was the two teenagers who like played the video game and liked it apparently. And they were playing with a chainsaw, and it resulted in a tragic accident. And then, that's like one of the weapons that you get in Doom. So Schwarzenegger eventually pulled out. Like maybe it had to deal with like his political stuff. Like he's like, I don't want to be involved with this. I don't know. But that's what he accused it at, or that's what it was rumored why he left.
That is so stupid.
Yeah.
Does he protest chainsaws now? Did he run on, like, what did he run for? Governor?
Of California.
Yeah. That's how out of touch I am with politics. I can't stand it. Was his, like, the ticket he ran on was, like, the anti-lumberjack bill or something?
He's like putting
Ban
out
all
smear
chainsaws in California.
He's putting out, like, smear campaigns where you're seeing, like, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But instead of Leatherface, like they put the head of like whoever his opponent was. they photoshopped that.
He removes the mask, and then that's when you see the opponent that he's running against. Oh, that's great.
I always question though whether or not those kind of stories are true too, because maybe he was just like somebody who was competent in his entourage was like, holy shit, I just read this script and you don't want another Batman.
Yeah, say this is why you got out. Yeah.
See, here's where I crank up all the contrast and stuff, and looks shitty, but you can kind of see stuff now.
Barely. So. God damn, like, this is fucking ridiculous.
This right here, this quality is like Shadows of the Empire Dark. Remember when we had to totally fuck with that footage too?
Yeah, where like you made it so bright you can tell they didn't even render graphics.
Yeah, you'll get to like a point where it's like you should be seeing the bricks on the wall or something, but all you see is black, so you're like, oh, there was just nothing there to see at all. That's why it was so dark.
I mean, come on, you can't even see the gun anymore.
And you're just hoping that like those flaming skulls will come after you because it's like a source of light.
Yeah, they'll illuminate the area. Yeah.
But then I get lucky, and there's moments like this where you're outside and like the moonlight or whatever is like is helping the scenery, so it looks better.
Yeah. If I was making a movie about Doom, one, I'd play the game. That's like a given. But I would make it where like you were Okay, let's stick to that stupid dumb fuck alien story. Let's pretend like we invested too much time and money into it and we can't change it or something. Okay, so I'm like, oh, okay, well, we find the Ark, and it sends whoever found it. Maybe it's like some sort of like natural phenomenon or whatever, and it sends you to hell. And then the whole movie is you just trying to get out, or it's like a weird dimension twist, sort of like the Twilight Zone, like. You're on Mars on this facility, and like you enter the Twilight Zone, or in this case hell, and you're just trying to get out of hell.
Or you could just have hell like sort of merge with reality, like it did in Event Horizon. Like movies have done this well before.
Yeah, Event Horizon is a great example. Another movie I mentioned while we were watching Doom was The Cell. Like if you had to go into like a different dimension, sort of in a different state, just so that you could write yourself out of hell to have some sort of ending. It's still like a shitty cop out sort of, but like it's 1,000 times better than what they made.
Yeah. No, they cranked this out real quick. And just help to cement that belief that video games can't be made into movies.
Yeah.
It's like they've just... no one puts any effort into them.
Right.
And what really fucking sucks, like since we're on that topic, that shit fucking World of Warcraft movie's gonna come out soon. And I'm not just saying that because like I hate the game now. I used to play it and love it, and
we got videos
destroyed
on
it.
it.
Oh yeah, you can go back and listen to me rage about it quite a bit. But the movie, it looks like total fucking cartoon bullshit. Like that CGI looks like crap, and I understand they can't cast real orcs, because that's not a thing. But I don't know, it looks really terrible to me. And when that fucking thing fails in the theaters, Hollywood's gonna say, you know what? If the biggest video game in all of history couldn't make it as a movie, nothing can.
And
sucks. It'll put the progress of video game movies back 1,000 years.
That's gonna fucking blow if Warcraft ruins The Last of Us for me. Like I love that video game so fucking much that I want to see a movie on that because the story was fucking phenomenal.
I wouldn't be surprised if you heard a story like that, like movies that were being made right now, in the process of being made, about video games, they're canceled now because of like the fear that was caused by Warcraft. Because you saw that before in there's a great documentary about the death of Tim Burton's Superman movie.
Oh yeah.
And the reason ultimately that thing fell apart is because that final Batman, Joel Schumacher Batman, was so bad that the studio's like, you know what, people are not with, like, superheroes aren't making money, we need to bail.
Yeah, let's back away from Batman. I see that. But then, like, you give it enough time, and it comes back, and, like, The Dark Knight was awesome.
Yeah, but, I mean, how long did that take? How many years? So I'm saying, like, eventually people will make video game movies again in that worst-case scenario I predicted, but...
They might scrap what they're working on. Yeah. No, that blows.
And then you'll be like even older by the time that comes around, and you'll probably be too old to even care about the movies anymore. And the movies will be like about video games you don't like shitty, stupid future kids and their future crap
and their video games and
whatever those dumb kids are into.
The future Tamagotchis of yesterday.
Speaking of like kid movies, by the way, kind of a weird tangent. Did you see the new suits for the Power Rangers movie?
No.
Oh yeah, they look like you saw that shitty RoboCop remake, right?
No, I never.
But you know
watched
what he
it,
looks
but
like.
I know what he looked like. Yeah.
They basically look like a bunch of colorful RoboCops.
And they're ruining everything. Like you saw the turtles. Like they look fucking disgusting.
Although like that first movie was so bad. That first Turtles movie, the Michael Bay one, but the I don't know. I do like the fact that fucking Krang and shit, like Bebop and Rocksteady, like those things are in the movie. Like, why did it take so long to get that? I would have loved that as a kid.
Yeah.
Instead, I got fucking Vanilla Ice.
Playing the song that he stole from 9 Inch Nails and David Bowie.
What?
Yeah, that Trent Reznor and David Bowie sued Vanilla Ice, and they won because he added just like one extra tune to an already existing song that they made and released.
You're mixing up your bands.
Oh, am I?
Yes, it wasn't David Bowie and Trent Reznor. It was, and I can't even remember. It was.
No, I'm telling you, it's David Bowie and Trent Reznor.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
Look it up.
Dun,
it
dun,
wasn't.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, it wasn't them. It's an old timey band. I'm gonna like piss off old people by saying that, but it's not fucking them.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sticking with what I'm saying.
You got your fucking computer in front of you. I can't remember who it was. Oh. But if anyone remembers, please leave a comment below. Because Anthony probably won't be able to find it. Meanwhile, this game's still going. This was so much footage. I really fucked up this whole video. I shouldn't have kept this much. But every once in a while, like, I see you, like, walking around in this corridor or something. I'm like, I want to keep this because I want to show how ridiculous it is. And it's some footage where you can actually see what's going on, so that's impressive.
Okay, so I was half wrong and half right. It is Queen
there
and
you
David
go.
Bowie.
See, told you.
I got one of them right, and Queen, I'll give you that, as an old-timey band, but Queen's fucking awesome, yo.
I didn't say they weren't. I fucking love David Bowie, too.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them are fucking solid, and fucking, what's his real name? Vanilla Ice.
Oh, like fucking Rip Van Winkle. Something like that.
Rob Van Winkle.
There you go. One of them, the characters fell asleep for 1,000 years, and one of them, their career fell asleep for 1,000 years.
Oh, he'll always be called Rip Van Winkle by me from now on. That's awesome. Oh, fuck that guy. Oh, shit. Like, his career amounted to nothing. He ended up going into real estate, and he even got in trouble doing that, too. Like, he stole, like, allegedly this furniture from one of the houses next door to the one that he was renovating. And he put it in his house and staged it while he was trying to sell it. And I believe he got arrested for that.
I don't follow him that closely, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, that's...
I don't know why I know that, but I do. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, like you point out, we're going to hang a strong allegedly on that.
Oh, well, I disgraced Trent Reznor a moment ago.
Oh, you know what, though? Like, he was associated with that movie.
He was! He did the soundtrack for Doom. Oh, man.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's not really anything, like, any big surprise. Like, he's
does that a lot, yeah.
He's put his music on some awful crap.
Yeah, like that Facebook movie. But good way of coming full circle, man. That was a good job. It was like, you know, you sound like professional for a second. Yeah. We got a reputation to uphold. Knock it off.
That's the peak. That's as good as we get. It's all downhill from here. Go ahead and unsubscribe.
You saw the watermark. It doesn't get any higher than that. Oh, fuck. Did you notice in the Doom movie they had doors that looked just like the doors in this?
Oh, that was the other similarity. There was like 5 similarities. That was one of them. Door architecture. I believe that was on the box, actually, the DVD box, like authentic door architecture. It says New York Times, 5 stars.
Oh, man. Yeah, on IMDb, people rated this like 5 out of 10 stars. It didn't do very well.
No.
5.2 out of 10 stars, and there was over 86,000 votes. It's a lot of unhappy people.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I feel bad for 86,000 people who had to watch that.
Yeah, I would have guessed that this movie didn't even make its money back, but it did. It's a shame.
It's funny though that like you've got a big property that's sold like millions of dollars in video games, you know,
Yeah.
and like id Software or whoever like technically owned the rights to be able to like give it to a movie studio just like carelessly like here you go, make a movie, who cares?
Right.
Why would you do that?
They I don't know. It's a weird like just return on investment money, like some guy in a suit behind a desk. You know, I don't know. There's some dumb formula, I'm sure. But they did make like other Doom games. This is like one of the largest franchises, anyways, that I've seen that sticks to something that looks remotely similar to this. Right? It's like Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein, Doom. They all like had these, you know, huge runs, and I would say Doom is probably the largest of those properties.
Because it's still around. Like Duke Nukem is dead forever. Like, he's never coming back.
Wolfenstein's still around. I mean, they have one for the PlayStation 4, which is
but
great.
You know what? Like, I don't know. Like, it's not as good as it should be or something.
No, you're absolutely right. I had some problems with it. If you want a good Wolfenstein, and you don't care about the title, play that Zombie Army trilogy. That's fucking sweet. Killing Nazis and killing zombies never get old for me. You put the two of them together, it's this perfect marriage, you know? I don't understand how you can get that wrong. And Wolfenstein, although it's still good, I'll buy the next one. I will replay the newest Wolfenstein, but it's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, I think they've run out of story or something.
I don't care.
There's only so much you can do with that.
I want to kill Hitler again. I mean, that's a core thing.
Yeah, I like that bent that they took on the one. I don't know if it's the newest one or whatever, where it's like they go into the future. Where it's like the Nazis won and it's like 1960 or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the video game for that show, The Man in High Castle.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish watching that, by the way?
No, I didn't.
God damn it!
No,
it's good.
I need to though. I'll play any Wolfenstein. And they did a good job with this last one. It was better than
it felt really
the
short
two before.
Because I watched you play through it.
Yeah, and there's some DLC that I got, and I think you saw me play the DLC, which is also why it's short. Yeah. But it was solid. It just wasn't like I want to fucking kill Hitler. What's wrong with killing Hitler? Like, why are you protecting him, franchise? That pisses me off. And Zombie Army Trilogy gave that to me. But I can't remember if it was the last Doom that they released for some I can't remember what it was, like maybe it was Xbox or Xbox 360 that I played it on, and it didn't seem all the I want to see hell just like Wolfenstein. I want to see me kill Hitler. It was like it wasn't as dark as this, so I mean it was a good direction, but I don't remember being all that happy. And I'm super excited about the new one that's coming out on May 13th because you'll be able to like do a level creator, which I think is amazing. We gotta try that out.
Yeah, no, we're gonna try everything, and you'll see like probably the first level over and over again in our video. This part, I swear to God, I was yelling at you like when I was editing the video. I cut out so much of this because you kept fucking up. Like, you couldn't make the jump. I'm sorry! And I was just like, I stopped editing and I'm like, I just watched. I'm like, when you get your shit together, motherfucker, that's when I'll start editing again.
Yeah.
Because I would cut things and I'd merge stuff together, and then you'd fuck up again. I'd have to cut that and merge it together, just over and over again. But this is it. This is the end of the footage, because guess what? This is where you tried to cross that bridge and you, like, fell on a
I needed life. Look, I got 25% health, and there's health right there, and I'm waiting to kill this fucking asshole. And then I'm like, yes, I go to get health, and this is it.
You fall into darkness, like pure darkness.
And I can't get out. I can't get out. We fucked with this for so long.
I don't know the brightness. There's nothing to see, and you could hear noises, like all sorts of demons and shit. You see, you can tell there's structures down here, but then you just went into a panic.
I'm like killing, because like there's those invisible, I'm sure, even though they don't have to be because it's so fucking dark. Yeah. And then there's that giant thing shooting those skulls at me.
But you appreciate the skulls because, again, they're a source of light.
Yeah, you got something to look at.
But I just remember you put on that chainsaw, that dual chainsaw, and then you just kind of let it run, and you're kind of backed in a corner and just like letting things run into you. This pit was so full of demons.
And I picked up a med kit, as you saw. Like, there's actual things down there, so there's a way to get out.
But you couldn't find it.
I couldn't figure it out.
And after a certain point, you just gave up.
Rage quit.
Well, no, I mean, once you were like fairly certain that like you had killed everything down here,
yeah,
you just went to map mode and you just stayed in that.
Yeah,
because at least you can see where the cursor is in map mode.
Oh boy!
But like, I still don't understand. Like, is there a possible way out of here? Like, did you glitch your way down? I mean, it looks like it was meant to be a trap. You're like, oh, guess what, guys? Now you got to find your way out. You clicked on everything.
Yeah, I walked around the walls and I, like, pushed all the buttons, like the one that would open doors and shit, and, like, nothing worked. I couldn't... I went around all the pillars, even. The fucking elevator piece that went down, like, wouldn't bring me back up.
But you know what? It was a blessing in disguise, because this video was already super long anyway. It's like, you know what? You're dead. I'm glad. Let's just end it. That's doom.
Yeah, let's be real. Fucking hell's gonna win.
Chose the wrong side. Yeah, so... would you play this again or watch the movie again?
Oh my god, I'll not only play Doom again, I'll play this fucking dark piece of shit before I watch that movie again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to the new one, though. I'm super excited about that. I can't fucking wait.